Hi guys, welcome back to Cheney's TCG store. Today I have another market watch for you. Before we get started with the market watch, I kind of wanted to note that I've been seeing a lot of tournament results recently, including the one from Moncton, which I believe is in Nova Scotia. Not completely sure there, could be wrong. But I noticed that 25% of the topping decks there were Flundries, and then I think another 25% was branded Despia. But this is like the second tournament that I've seen Flundries take 25% of the tournament, like within the last week, which is surprising. But I also, have been talking about Flundries a lot on this channel, and I think that it's a really good deck. We are not going to cover those cards in this market watch today because the prices haven't changed too much. They are trending up for sure, and they are getting lower on copies, so it might be something you want to keep your eye on. It's looking like it could be a decent contender when we go into nationals. I'm hoping that they'll do well, because I know that a lot of budget players are on that deck just because it's a really cheap deck to play. And if you are looking to play competitively and you want to play a cheap budget deck, you can definitely go with Flundries. You do have Pot of Prosperity, which is $300 or so for a play set. But I've seen players opt to just play Pot of Extravagance, which is perfectly fine as well. But with that aside, we can go ahead and get into the market watch. First, I wanted to take a look at Legendary Duelist Season 3, the pre-sales, because I've seen a lot of leaks coming out. There's going to be a secret rare Liquid Soldier. There's also ultra rare confirmed Magician Souls, and that's going to come in colored ultra rare as well. I think I was watching someone else's channel, and they showcased that someone had them for sale on eBay. It was like a blue Magician Soul, which is going to look sweet, by the way. I think that's going to look really good. Even though I might buy one for just the looks, but I'll probably just end up buying another couple of copies of the original ultra rare. And then I've just been seeing a lot of good reprints. Dawnwalker, the Skaters in there. I'm trying to think what else is in there. Cursed Necrofear. Like, I encourage you to go look. You can just go search around. I'm not going to cover it in this video because it's more of a market watch, but I think that this is going to be probably the best Legendary Duelist season that we've got yet. And I think that it might actually be a really good sealed product investment. This set kind of covers like the best Duelist packs that we've got, in the last 5 years or so. With Magical Hero, Immortal Destiny. I think Sisters of the Rose was in the last one, I believe. I can't remember what the third one was in this set, but there are definitely three. I believe so. I think it's not just Immortal Destiny and Magical Hero, but I guess I'll need to figure that out. But right now the sealed displays are going for 105, which is not bad. I do think that this set will be heavily printed by Konami because it is one of the really good sets. Similar to kind of how, like, I'd say Ghost from the Past was really heavily printed, meaning they put out a lot of product because it had a lot of good reprints and it was heavily anticipated. I think a lot of people are heavily anticipating this set as well, so there will be a lot of this floating around. As for the individual boxes, I can't remember. I thought that the MSRP was $15 for these. But if you look at like how this started on pre-sale, it started off really high. I'm sure they changed MSRP maybe to like 20. Let me see what each set contains. One of several collectible dice, 30 out of 91 combos. So you get 6 ultra rares and 1 secret rare. And I believe so that's probably 2 packs, I believe, because I think each pack you're getting like a regular ultra rare and so you're getting an ultra rare and 2 colored ultra rares per pack. So I think usually this is supposed to be 15 MSRP, but that could have changed because I know a lot of prices have gone up for sealed product. 20 is not bad, but I would ideally want to get this for 15 at MSRP or of course below. But I think 105 for a sealed display is not bad. Like MSRP on that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 8 boxes total. 8 times 15. This is like full MSRP, not what you could actually get it for. 15 times 8, 120. So it's a little bit below MSRP. Versus buying the I guess no, because that's 8 boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 8 times $15, which is MSRP, would come out to 120. So this is actually a good price at 104.74. I would actually consider picking up a display. If you want to get a case, that's not bad either. I do think this is a good set to invest in, just because you are getting a lot of good reprints. But some of the things you have to keep in mind is a lot like Ghosts from the Past and like the sealed Albaz strike decks. A lot of people are expecting to be very good, so you're not like independent with that view that this set's going to be good long-term sealed. A lot of people are thinking the same, so a lot of people are going to be buying into this, and I think this will be heavily printed, like I mentioned earlier. So there will be a lot of this out there, I believe. But at 105, that's a really good deal. It does bottom out here to 135, so I would consider getting it, sooner rather than later. But I think that's a decent price, to be honest with you. And then the sealed packs are 13, but I would stay away from that. It's not really, because a lot of the value you get per box is the dice, because like each dice is usually like $2 or $3. So that's just free value. And then of course you're getting a guaranteed secret rare. And so far, all the secret rares that I've seen are pretty good. I do think Cursed Necrophore will probably end up being pretty cheap. But I think it's a great card to have as well. But and then there's there's one that's called like White Dragon Blast or something like that. That one looks really cool too. It's the one, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the one with the blue eyes with the blue stream coming out of his mouth, and then it's got I think Mystical Elf in it as well, which is really, really cool. But I'm excited to pick up some of those. It's just a really cool looking card. But moving on, I wanted to cover Illusion of Chaos as well, since we are getting that reprint of Magician Souls. I imagine it's going to be pretty cheap, especially since it's an ultra rare and not like a secret promo. So I would imagine probably $12 to $15, maybe a week after release or so. And so since, Magician Souls will be a lot more available to people and the price will be a lot lower, people might want to play around with playing the Illusion of Chaos Magician Soul engine, and this card will push up. And this card was recently down to like $25 to $27. Let's see right here. Yeah, right around $25. And it's back up to near 30. So we got one here, light play for 28. And then after that one's sold, it's going to be $33. So actually that might already be gone, because it was 32 for near mint earlier. Okay, so here's one, $29 for near mint, and then pushing up to 30, and then quickly going up to 33, 34. I do expect this card to go back up towards the 35 to 40 range, potentially more if people can like find a consistent use for the engine. Of course, you'll also have maybe Dark Magician players looking to pick this card up too, now that Magician Souls is more accessible. We'll have to see. But I do think this is a great pickup right now before it gets above $30. Even I think up to 35 is fine, but if you're going to get this, just go ahead and get it now. Next, I wanted to cover Deck Devastation Virus. So I do think this card will be a pretty good side deck card once Splight kind of comes into the format. And I think it's seen a lot of play too in the OCG against Splight. But we've seen this like kind of on buyout status for a minute now. And really the only semi-affordable version left was Legendary Collection Kaiba Ultra Rares. And I think they were like $5 like a couple of days ago, but now they're up quite a bit. I still think if you're going to pick up a version, this is probably the best to get at this point, because it's going to be pretty much unaffordable, or just not a good use of your money to buy the other versions at the price points they are at now. But you can get these light play here for $9. If you want to just get unlimiteds, that's fine too. The thing you need to be concerned with is just having a version to play. If that's something that you'd be interested in doing, I do think this card will be pretty good. And then kind of bottoms out here to $10, or for the first edition, to be able to get a play set with one seller. And then I do think that there's only 2 pages here. There's 20 listings. And unfortunately, I don't think this will come back down for quite a while. And I don't know where they would reprint this card at this point. My guess is if they were going to reprint it, it would probably be like a gold set, or maybe potentially like in the Battles of Legends set, or the Crystal Beast, whatever it is called now. But pretty much all versions are worth some money. You do have some commons here that are cheaper, but I do think that these are moving up as well. Yeah, you're already at $3 for just the commons, you know, going up to 5 here. So, you know, with the common, the lowest end common being $5, I think $7 to $8, you know, up to 10 if you want the first edition for the Legendary Collection Kaiba. I think it's really smart to get that version. But moving on, oh, by the way, the ultimate rare is just, it's unattainable at this point. It's really, really expensive. I think I saw it's like $500 roughly for like a light play. So if you wanted to get that, unfortunately, it's too late. But that card has been expensive for some time now. Next, I want to look at Deep Sea Diva, just because we are getting closer and closer to Power of the Elements. Right now, the Turbo Pack Super is 175. I do think this is overpriced. This card was 45, like I think 45 to 70, somewhere in that range, you know, kind of fluctuating, not too long ago, like within the last year. And it's up quite a bit. It's too late to get it at this point, and it's just not worth the money. I would stay away from it. If you want to get the Duelist Saga, I think that's, you know, fine at $12. But I'm still personally a big fan of the super rare from the OTS tournament pack. We did see a spike back down on this card after the initial buyout earlier for splites, and now it's back up. I told you to get it on the dip because I do think that this card's going to hold a pretty good price here. So it dipped back down to like $5.96, but I think it was like around $5.50 to $6. And then now if you look, light plays at 7, you know, going up to 8 here and bottoming out towards 10. So, you know, hopefully you got it when it was a little bit cheaper, but if you haven't, I don't think that it's going to get cheaper from here. Not unless we get a reprint. There could be a reprint, you know, with that water set. I just don't think there is. I didn't see any in there. I think they've, you know, pretty much gone through most of the cards that are going to be in that set. So I don't think it's going to be in there, which I was hoping they would put another print in there for, you know, the people that wanted to pick them up, but they are not. It doesn't look like. Raging Battle first edition rares 250. That's not bad either, honestly. If you were going to, you know, kind of pick between that and these other two versions, like the Maximum Gold El Dorado rare, I would go with that. But you know, personally, I would just go with the supers from the OTS pack. But even these are up quite a bit. These were like really cheap when this was released, like 15, 20 cents. And now these are, well, here's one for 25 cents, but it's got the dollar shipping. So it's really like $1.20 going up to $2.40 here. It's gonna be interesting to see kind of what this version does when we have Splite released. Like, will this be a $5 card? I don't really know. I do think that the supers will be probably 12 to 15 plus when we see it released. I really, really do. But it's gonna be hard to say with these gold rares. But I do think that like some of these gold rares from Maximum Gold have been performing really, really well. And some of the gold, just the regular like golds as well, not the regular golds, but like the actual gold rare, like the premium gold rares. Some of those are penny stocks that, you know, really do well over time, as you know. But moving on, I wanted to cover some of the cards that we're going to see a reprint in the Legendary Duelist Season 3. So we have Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier here. If you remember, this was going for well over $100. This says 108, but that's not accurate. It was near like 125 plus for a while. But I'm going to refresh here because I think, you know, we just got the announcement for this not too long ago today. So I think people, as the hours pass, will start panic selling these because you only need this card at 1 in your deck. And this was way overpriced at over $100. But 55 for unlimited and 67 here for near mint. This is going to go way down from here. You know, just to be clear, because we now have a secret rare, which I do think that people are still going to gravitate towards the original ultra rare. At least the collectors, I think, would. That's my thoughts. But maybe not. We'll see. But I do think this will probably be sub $25, maybe sub $30 once that's released. We'll have to see those. You know, heroes do weird things, so it's kind of hard to predict, you know, what they're going to do. Same with, you know, Dark Magician of Blue Eyes stuff, but I think elemental heroes are kind of the craziest with trying to predict what they're going to do price-wise. Next is a Skater Don Walker. This was like up towards 20 for a while. It's been up above $15 for, you know, since the release of Dawn of Majesty. At least that's when I started following this card, kind of, because I picked it up for a synchro deck that I was playing at the time. But if you look back over a year, let's see kind of what the price has been doing. You know, it started low back in July of last year at $2. That's crazy because this card is so good, but you know, if you can't use it, it's not really worth that much. But here was the initial spike. I believe I got these on the trend up like $7 a piece. And I ordered a bunch of these just because I thought they would do really well. I didn't order a bunch. I want to say a bunch. I ordered 2 play sets and sold them back in this spike. And then they came back down to like 9 or 10. And then they've just been floating back up. And they were, this says $18, but I remember the lowest listing being around $22 for this recently, like in the last few months. But now it's back down towards $14 here. And this has been confirmed for a little while, like a week now or so, to be in the season 3. So this card will be really cheap once we get that release. But once we get that release, I would come back and get this version because I do think that this will hold decent value. At least it's going to hold a lot better value than the reprint. I don't think I think the reprint will probably be like $1.50, $2 max. I really don't think it'll be expensive. Next, I wanted to cover branded opening, just kind of along with all the branded stuff, that's kind of really been tanking hard. This was up to $28, almost $30 at one point. And now it's back down to $14, $13.50 to $14 here. And I think it's going to go lower, to be honest with you, because less and less people are picking this deck up, and a lot of people are selling these off in anticipation for Splight. They're trying to get the most money they can for the deck. For their branded decks to invest back into Splight, which makes sense to me. Guardian Chimera, along with the same theme, these are back down to $36, which is the lowest they've been in a while. I'm kind of interested to see where this card bottoms out at, because it is still played at 2 copies in most decks. And the deck is going to be really good up until when Splight's released. I still think when Splight's released, it probably will get a top here or there. I think it's gonna be more like tier 1.5, maybe tier 2. Not because it's gonna have anything banned, I don't think, but it's just the power level of Splight and Tearlaments is just through the roof. I mean, especially with the support we're seeing for Tearlament come out in, what is it called? Darkwing or something like that, which is the set after Power of the Elements, I believe. But that's going to tie in the Visa Starfrost, which is why the support for the Tearlaments in that set, which is why Visa Starfrost has gone crazy. I just actually sold one of my copies today for $20, which I told you when I picked them up, they were like $6.50 maybe. So pretty cool to see. I really had a lot of belief in that card. It did go up to 25, and it's kind of floated back down more towards like 19 to 20 now. I do think that it'll probably hold above $18 because it's going to be pretty good when we get all of the Tearlament support. I think once we get all the Tearlament support, it might be like neck and neck with Splight, if not better. We'll have to see though. Next is Infinite Impermanence. So this has traditionally been around 220 to 240. It still has a market price of 231. But I've noticed that these have trended down a little bit. So you got 202 here for light play and then 205 for near mint. If you were holding out and getting this card, I think now's a great opportunity to pick them up. This card looks amazing if you haven't seen them. I'm going to see if there's a picture here. Let's see. I think this one is a picture here, but it's damaged, but you should be able to get an idea of kind of what it looks like. Yeah, it looks amazing, but this doesn't do it justice. If you get it in the right lighting, it's really, really good. Yeah, that is definitely pretty bad there. What does he say? Oof, can you imagine opening this, like opening a pack and accidentally tearing the top of this card? That would be a bad day for sure. But yeah, just something to keep your eye on if you are looking at Infinite Impermanence. Always going to be a good card. Next is Dimension Shifter. So going along with the Fluanderies, I guess, in the TCG theme that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, with the deck being really, really good. This is something that they're playing at 3 copies. And this is something I told you to pick up at, like $3.50, $4, $5, and so on. And this is around $9 now. So if you bought a bunch of these when they were really cheap, you might want to consider like trying to offload some of these, just because this is due for a reprint for sure. We've got everything else reprinted for the most part from the the promos from 2019. I think maybe Palladium Oracle or something didn't get reprinted. I can't remember what that spellcaster was called. I don't think that was it. I think it was something else. It was the one that was like the magician card that was like a girl with black hair and it had like an orange and yellowish background. I can't remember what it's called. If you know, let me know. But I don't think that card's been reprinted since. But other than that, everything else has been for the most part. And Dimension Shifter is the lone standing wolf here. So I think that they're going to reprint this at any time. It could probably be, like the Battles of Legends set this year, or if we have a gold set, I'm not sure if we are or not yet. I don't think they've announced if they're doing one yet. We'll have to see on that, but it's going to get reprinted sometime this year, I would imagine. If it doesn't, at least you made some money if you bought them, for $3.50 or whatever. But when this came out, this was like 99 cents, which is when I got them, or some of mine. But pretty crazy to see this go so high, but it's just a really broken card. Last is going to be a non-meta. This to me is just going to be something for old formats, and also just for collectors. With the Gemini Elf, if you didn't know, when this came out, it was super powerful because the game was dependent on, like beat stick, normal summons monsters that are, level 4 or lower. And at 1900, this card was extremely strong at the time. But right now, these are going for light play, $4 here, $4.03, and then for near mint, a little under $5. I would pick these up, honestly. I think these are great, especially if you can find them if they're sealed. I think most of the time they'll come sealed. It's been very rare that I've ordered one of these that didn't come sealed. I think if you get the light play, it'll probably not be sealed, but I think for the near mint, you'll probably be okay. I think it's worth it. I would keep them sealed though. I wouldn't open them up unless you're wanting to play them in like an old format deck. Just make sure that you keep some sealed, and then you could, open some up if you want to play with them as well. But I think these look really, really cool. And it's nice to see this card. I haven't seen it in a while. But with that aside, that's going to be all for today. I've been saying this for a while and keep pushing it off. I don't know why. I just keep forgetting. I get excited about covering other cards, but we will do a market watch this weekend where I cover the cards that y'all picked for the market watch contest. I'm going to promise on that one. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye.